feelings.
Hey, it's Tech Thursday.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Nicole. we have feelings today. We were just discussing them. But we also have a little show for today because it is Tech Thursday, and that's what we do on Thursdays.
Yeah.
We talk about something, and hopefully somebody cares a little bit about it.
Please care. So this week, so you may or may not know this, but I'm a 20-something, and one of the things that 20-somethings love to joke about is how broke they are. So today we're talking about freemium tools, which are basically the tools that you can use for marketing online stuff for free to a point.
Oh yeah, and like
little samples.
Yeah, to try out, and then you pay if you want to do a little more. And it's one of these tools that's been taken from like the online world, and it's been moved to other places too. So like you could do X amount for free, and then after you have to pay, or you could have this many features or pay for this many more features.
Yes.
So what's one thing that you've been using for free that you finally decided to pay for that you could think of? Maybe hasn't got to that point yet.
I did it with Netflix.
Yeah. And what made you decide to like finally be like, fine, I'll pay for it?
I wasn't done watching The Office yet after a month. I was 21. It was, I guess, yeah, that was like 4 years ago now that I opted into that. And also, people in my family started using it, so.
Oh yeah, the recommendations start getting off in terms of like, they start recommending stuff to you that you're like, what?
We have 3 different accounts underneath so I'm technically the one that pays for it, but it says like, when you log in, it's like, which user are you? And we have Cassie and then Cecil Jacobs, which is my brother. It's like a long inside joke that's probably not funny unless you're a family member. And then Kathy, which I think her username is Mom.
Oh, well, she's Mom.
She is Mom. So, and I actually did it with Oyster too, which is quote unquote Netflix for books.
Right. Oh, cool.
They do the same thing where you get a month free, and then that was actually accidental. I like forgot that I had it, and then I looked at my bank account and was like, wait, what is this? Like $11.99.
Yeah. And sometimes they like have you, even when you sign up for free, give you your credit card number. And so I always have to put it in the calendar to be like, deal with this. Like I do it a couple days before it's actually due, so that
I meant to do that, and then I didn't. And I'm a space cadet, so I didn't notice for a while. But other things that I think this is why I avoid certain things like Birchbox and stuff like that, because I think I would get hooked on something.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just afraid of, because I think part of the thing with that too is like they want you to discover a certain thing that you like, and then
right. So like, yeah, so the freemium is like, so there's some novelty, like NatureBox too will send you a free box of snacks to start off with. Like,
oh, that's right.
And like, so I feel like you could do it for products, you could do it for apps like Oyster, or you could do it for like even services, try this service for free for a month, and if you like it, or half off or something. But yeah, so like really when you think about it, like freemium can be for just about anything.
Or like at business after hours, little massage samples.
Oh yeah.
Which I couldn't really relax at, but.
Right.
I was like, you put me in this corner, like I can hear the whole room behind me. Like I have social anxiety, so.
It's okay.
I was like, I can hear them, but I can't see them. This is my nightmare.
I feel like you're not alone there.
No, I don't think so either. I like to think I'm terminally unique, but I'm really just a cookie cutter.
You are terminally unique. But there are definitely ways to figure out whether you should finally pony up the money for something, or whether you should just keep rocking the free version. And like,
was that a like song reference that you were kind of trying to keep on rocking the free?
See? Sometimes I make these like super old person references, and not that that's even super old. Well, it's a little old. And then
I wasn't
and
sure if
it's
that was on
completely-
purpose or not.
well, I kind of like a little bit, but
It
you
worked.
picked right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you picked right up. Good job. But
for some reason, I just jumped to Man on the Moon.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, that's
no.
no one else
Oh,
knows
that-
what we're talking about.
Oh, if you want to read The Man on the Moon, subscribe to our email newsletter, and you'll get a lovely REM reference in there. I had such a crush on Michael Stipe when I was in 7th grade. I think mostly I was jealous of how he could put on eyeliner, though.
Yeah, those guys like.
They really know what they're doing with the eyeliner. I have no idea. I kind of want Michael Stipe. If there was like something where like bid on Michael Stipe teaching you how to use eyeliner, I would totally do it.
Have you seen? There's this thing that has gone by on my Instagram. That's like, "Hey boy, are you liquid eyeliner? Because I'm about to seriously mess this up." I was like, "Oh my god, that's perfect."
Oh God.
I sent this one to Allison too. That was okay. This is way off topic now. I'm like in left field. It was just like me. Hey, I met this boy. 2 days later, never mind. If I had $1 for every time I did that to her, I don't even think she listens to me anymore. When
No.
I say that. I'm like, okay, that's nice.
When I met Derek, because Alice like was on the similar receiving end of things like that, and I said, no, this guy's really cool. You have to meet him or whatever. And then after she met him, she said, Nicole, if he murdered somebody, I would help you drag the body into the basement, and I would also think that they deserved it because he's really good.
Aw.
It was just kind of like, so yeah, it's okay. One day it'll happen. She'll meet the guy, and she'll be like, yep, she'll be on board. But anyway, back to freemium. So to me, it's worth paying money when it saves you some time. Like, for example, like your Oyster thing. So I'm in this young adult book club, and I cannot tell you how many. I probably spend half an hour to 45 minutes online trying to pirate the ebook version of what we're reading that month, when I could just pay $11 and just get it, and I could read other books too. Like,
Yeah, it's unlimited bookage for.
and that's what I mean is like, because some of them like are online with a library and some of them aren't. So, it's one of those things where as I'm doing it, I'm like, this is so stupid. This is like the dumbest use of my time ever. Like, as I go through all these different pirating websites, and like, I should support the authors anyway because I'm reading their books. Anyway, don't be mad at us, Carrie Jones and other people who write books. I only do it for the young adult book club, and only when I'm too lazy to go to the library. But like at work here, what I noticed is like, so there's this tool called Hootsuite where you can schedule social media posts ahead of time. I don't know if you guys think like we just hang out on Twitter and like if you're a lunch place and wait till 11:30 and then like type in the lunch special, but we kind of don't because that would be not very conducive to getting stuff
Contrary
done.
to popular belief, I have a life.
Right. And it's not that we don't check in on stuff. It's just that sometimes like you need to know something is going to go out at a certain time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we could do, I guess, if we wanted to be super cheap is we could, because Hootsuite allows you to have 5 accounts for free. Like you can have 5 social networks. So if you had like a Google Plus page, a LinkedIn page, a Facebook page, a Twitter account, Instagram, there's your 5. What we could do if we were super cheap bastards is we could have every client have their own Hootsuite account. Like we could like be like, oh, here's a random Gmail account that we always use for this client. We'll make them a Hootsuite account with that same Gmail. But the logging in and out is so stupid. And then the next higher level that allows you to have 25 accounts is $5.99 a month. So logging in and out, wasting that time, or paying $5.99 a month, right? Like at a certain point, you just look at your life and say, it's worth me saving some time, and it's worth me spending a couple of bucks to do it, especially if my time is worth more to me than what I'm paying. So, I mean, I would estimate that, we at least save an hour a month using Hootsuite.
Yeah, I'm just imagining what that process would look like. And
it's super annoying. It would be super annoying. So
it makes me sad.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you just want to think about like, how much time am I spending doing this thing and how much time is this thing going to save me if I just pay for it to happen? And sometimes that is a worthwhile trade-off because a lot of these things aren't super expensive. Especially these tools and stuff, it's like, $9.99 a month or less, or like, it's like around that, a lot of these services or a lot of these products. So, but yeah, I think time saving is definitely worth throwing some cash at the situation.
Agreed.
And another thing, so 1, does it save you time? 2, does it do something oddly specific? So there are certain like things that you're like, oh my God, this is so good. So for example, our bookkeeper is in Michigan and we're in Maine. And so basically what I do is I do our invoicing and I take care of our deposits when we get checks. So what I do is I scan the checks and send them to her so that she can put them into our invoicing system. Now, I need to do it in a moderately secure program, but I also don't want to worry that if my phone gets run over by a car or something that we've lost all those scans. So the app is called Genius Scan. It's an iPhone app, and the free version allows you to scan things and email them, and you could put things like into multiple pages and crap like that. So if you had like a contract or something and you wanted to scan it and send it to someone, you could do that. But the paid version lets it sync to Dropbox, Google Drive, and a couple other services, which we use. So it was worth me paying, I forget what I ended up, I think it was like $15, may not have been that high. But it was worth that to me to know that everything is getting synced into our business Dropbox account so that we can file it away and it's not like stuck on my phone. So yeah. So like that's something like oddly specific I need to happen. Yes. That I was willing to pay for. And the other thing is I spent, oh my God, the other day. So there's these things, and apparently they're called exit grabs. I love how I always learn. When you're going to close out of, like you're going to go close a website, something pops up. And it's like, but wait, sign up. Or, oh wait, 50% off.
Yeah, I'm annoyed unless it's like my bank or...
Right. So that's called an exit grab. So what I started doing was I was looking for because a client requested it on their website. So I was like, okay, I get it. They're effective. They're a little douchey, but like if you want it, okay. So I started looking around and I spent 2 hours looking at all these free ones that kind of didn't work. And then I found one that was like $25. And then I realized we had a developer license for it, so it didn't really cost us anything. But I was ready to pay $25 for it. It was under a company that we already deal with. And so I just downloaded it, and it works perfect. And I was like, oh my God, if I would have known this existed like 2 hours ago, I would have just paid, even if we didn't have a developer license, I would have just paid for it and just installed it because it was like, it did exactly what I needed it to do. And I think it's interesting because it's like it figures out when your like hand is starting to go to the close, or I'm like, how does it do that? Anyway, I just thought that was oddly specific. And after trying a bunch of crappy ones, I realized like, okay, worth paying for the thing that does something very specific that I need to happen, especially if it does it well. So
yeah. Agreed. Oh, number 3. Will you use it again? So this is something that actually applies to other things in life too.
Really?
So like whenever I went shopping with my mom, because my mom is just so frustrated because I'm an impulse shopper, but I'm really bad at, I'm just not a good shopper. So like my mom is able to go in and like find something, just pick something off the rack and be like, try this on. And I'll be like, ew, what are you, like put that back. And she's like, no, try it on.
It's gonna look good
like,
on.
Yeah. So she's one of those people that just, knows what's gonna look good and is not afraid to tell me if it doesn't look good. Things that I pick out. Things that she picks out.
I feel like that's such a mom thing to do though.
Yeah. She's like, no, you cannot pull that off. Like, please don't. Mainly in high school when low-rise jeans were the big thing. She was like, bend over. Like, let's see what happens. Like, Mom, these are cool. Anyway, so her rule for me whenever I thought I was in love with an item was, will you wear it 7 times?
Oh, yeah.
And if I really sat back and thought about it, if the answer was no, then it goes back on the rack.
That's
but
a
if
good
it was,
that's a good rule.
Yeah, and it could be any number, like depending on how impulsive you are. I think seven's
good because it implies like it's not like one or two. Like I'll wear this a couple of times. It's like
seven's a good number.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna use it again, it might be worthwhile. I don't know how many. I guess it depends on the app, like how many times you would need it.
Right.
But
well, it doesn't have to be an app. It can just be like so.
Yeah,
like in our line of work or
something.
whatever. Or sometimes you can get like licenses or something. You know. So I'm not sure if like like one user account. It could be with the Waster. Like one user account costs X amount, and maybe you can buy 5 for whatever. So if you think that you're going to either use it again or you're going to give it as gifts or something like that, sometimes it's worth like getting multiple licenses at the same time, like buying a giant jar of peanut butter at Costco. If you're gonna eat all that peanut butter, it's worth it because you save money, right? It's like less than the little tiny jar of peanut butter, but it's only worth the investment if you plan on using it over and over again. So we have developer licenses for things that we use a lot because it makes sense. And, and there's definitely, it seems like there's that equivalent in the freemium world too of, there's like different levels of account, so sometimes it's worth paying, there's usually 3 tiers. I don't know if you noticed that. It's like the intro, and then there's like the most popular one is usually the medium price one, and then there's the higher price one.
It's like pro.
Yeah, but sometimes pro is worth it because it's like, oh, you can use this on like 25 websites, or you can like, it'll, pick up your dry cleaning for you or whatever, like it'll do something like that's worth it, that you could use it in multiple places or give it to multiple people. So
yeah. I noticed the big thing that gets sold was support or I just ruined it. That gets sold with pro is the support. The level of support that's available to you it's like I equate it to like when you go to like a hotel and you're like, or like certain hotels you can get like the premium
concierge.
Yes. Or if you're like throwing down a little extra money, they'll like greet you with a warm towel and like I don't know.
Whoa, what hotels do you stay at? Fancy lady.
Tell me, boy, what kind of hotel is this? But yeah, and then they'll do like weird acrobatic stuff, and they're like taking your luggage up, and like, whereas other places, like I don't know, you go to like the Ramada, like, yeah. You're like
that way.
You get like the cross-eyed lady with like a side tooth. You can't tell if she's scowling at you or if that's just the way her face looks.
I think she's just scowling at life, probably.
Anyway.
Yeah, right. The idea of support too. Like, so if you think you're going to use the support over and over again, like by all means, like get the unlimited support package. Like if you're one of those people who knows you need support, like just pay for it, because usually these people, they like turn stuff around within 24 hours. They're usually pretty nice, especially if you're nice to them. So yeah, that's a good point. Not only you'll use it again, but you'll use it to the level that, to that level of paid service, So the free version, you get this piece of software. The paid version, you get the support too. If you're gonna use the support, do buy it, because it'll save you hours of agony. Hours.
Which goes back to the saving time thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's all connected.
It is all connected.
Oh, yeah. So I was trying to make a fun segue instead of a break, but yeah, we're just going to go right into it. The last thing is, does it have way better reviews than anything else that's available or comparable? And a lot of stuff too will just have reviews available.
Yeah.
Like right there. So it's not even like you have to like snoop around and like go all PI.
Yeah, if you're in the App Store and you're looking for, say, a Google Drive app, so you can look at your documents on your phone, and there's like 10 apps, and they all have kind of crappy reviews, and there's this one that has like a bunch of great reviews and it costs $3. Buy it. Like trust the people who went before you, and got frustrated enough that they actually, left a crappy review.
Yeah, and that's what I do when I'm looking for just like random personal apps. Like I think I was looking for like an Instagram layout app for free. so I'm not gonna pay for that because I was like, there's totally stuff for free out there. But I mean, I had to fall back on the reviews because I was like, I know nothing about any of these, and they all pretty much do the same thing ultimately.
Right.
But I just went for the one with the best review because there were a couple that were like meh, and there was one that was like,
yeah, this is awesome. And then like sometimes, because I like that it does let you search the free versus the paid ones. I think that is pretty cool. But sometimes you look at the free ones and then just go to the paid tab and just look and just see what the difference is. Because sometimes you'll say like, oh, well, I don't want the logo of the app in the lower right-hand corner.
That is annoying.
Or, you know, but you get why they're doing it, right? Like if they're like they've invested time and energy and staffing and whatever to give you something for free, then they should get something back.
That just made me think of WeVideo too.
Yeah.
So when you upgrade to pay for this, we found this online video editing website, which is really awesome, and it does everything we need. But there's a freemium version which lets you store like 5 gigs of whatever,
like clips, like video clips, like sound. Like.
And when you go to upload the video or download or sideload or whatever, it puts the WeVideo logo on it. But if you pay for the service,
yeah,
I think it's like, I don't remember how much.
It's like $5 or $10 a month or something.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny too because you know people sometimes ask like, because I do pay some small fees for monthly things, and people are like, well, why don't you just? It's the like the accounting thing. Like, why don't you just install QuickBooks onto your computer? And I'm just like, man, what if something happens to that computer and my QuickBooks is on that computer? Or I have to like come back to the office to send an invoice, or I'm out with a client and they're like, wait, how much money do I owe you? I can write you a check right now. Yeah. Yeah, I like it being somewhere that I can just pull up, I can resend, you know, and I can access on any computer or device, you know. So to me, that's worth that convenience. What's really funny though is like Photoshop or Adobe has this, you know, Creative Cloud. You can pay $50 a month, and basically any computer you're on, you can use like Adobe software. But we only have Photoshop on this one computer that we're talking to you on right now, because I'm kind of, it's so funny how in some ways I'm willing to like opt into like a paid monthly thing, and in some ways I am a cheap whatever who.
Well, I feel like the cost benefit analysis of doing that, like we don't use Photoshop nearly enough to justify that purchase.
No, it's true. It's true. And that's why, you know, and that's what you have to do as a person too, is say like, okay, you know, when is it worth me paying a few bucks to, you know, save time, do something oddly specific, you know, use something multiple times, or, you know, have something that's like really, really good compared to everything else on the market. And that's when you buy. And if it isn't important, then you just use free, because there's lots of good options out there for lots of
money
things.
doesn't grow on trees, guys.
It doesn't?
No, that's what my mom told me anyway.
Your mom's always right.
It's like the theme of this is weird references and Cassie's mom.
I don't know. I like the 7 thing. It's so funny because I'm thinking about my closet. There's some things I'm definitely not going to wear 7 times, and I think.
Oh no, I'm like, I really need to go home and clean stuff out to make room for more.
To make room for more. I know. Who doesn't like new clothes? It's fun. It's like the world is your oyster.
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 Oyster. If you have any other Tech Thursday ideas for us, you can leave us a comment or visit our website, One Viewer. Our website is freakingevening.com.
Thanks, One Viewer. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.